Still don't hear you. Your light's going on. Change my audio source. I hear everything else. Oh, my audio's fine. Right on the set.
All right. Quiet on the set. You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. And no other friggin' better place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, two idiots who misinterpret the news so you don't have to. The dynamic duo themselves, Laz and Jack.
Greetings, everybody. This is Laz, and Jack seems to be having an audio problem. We can't hear Jack at the moment, so we're trying to run down the problem. He's lighting up, but we do not hear him. I don't know why that is. And Thradia, do you hear him? That was the question. You can hear him, but I still can't hear him, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Let's see. Let me try just doing this momentarily. Let's go over here and we'll turn on. Okay, can you hear me through Zoom? Give me some Zoom audio. Okay, well, I've got, yeah, I'm checking voice and video, and, yes, temporarily, I should be coming. Oh, I know it's not my microphone. Discord settings are fine. Let's see. Yeah, it's the proper device. I don't get why. And let me see something else here. Let me do this. Lomir, say something. Can I hear you? I can't hear Lomir. Maybe I just need to restart Discord. Maybe I need to restart Discord. Yeah, once I restart Discord. So give me a second. Yeah, it was all working just fine yesterday. Don't ask me. You know what happened? There was a video driver update yesterday, which sometimes hoses things. So let's see here. It's supposed to go through voice mod. Well, maybe that's what it is. Hold on. That might be it. Petty has the inside scoop. Hold on as Discord reopens. That's right. Last technical difficulties long. What's up, 3 Devious? Good to see you out there. But that's why we have redundancy, so we can jump into Zoom there and do that. So am I coming through Discord now? No. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's try this again. How about now? Can you hear me now? I mean, can I hear you? I don't know. Let me check my sound settings. Maybe it's something to do over here. Voice meter input. That's right. Let's try voice mod. Let's try voice mod. Does that do it? Can you hear me still in Discord? I'm not hearing anybody. I'm not hearing Jack at all now. So let's go back to voice meter the way it's supposed to be. I don't even hear you in Zoom now. Why is that? Oh. Uh, 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 Okay. How about that? Can I now hear you in Discord? I don't know. I gotta mute you in. I heard them here in Discord. there. Is my audio going through? Yeah, my audio's going through there, which is really weird. Something's not right. Okay. Can you hear me in Zoom? You've been able to hear that. You're muted in Zoom. So I mean, sorry, in Discord. So I can. But you're still not coming through the live stream because well, that's just it. Everything is working normal except for that, and I don't understand that. Let me see what's going on for your audio over here. Voice mod auxiliary. Yeah, that's where you should be coming through. And from here, fucking video driver updates. My output is just fine. That's what I'm telling you. Everything is set the way it's supposed to be. I didn't do anything. It's you're not coming through anywhere. That's the problem. You know, your volume is the same. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. There we go. Let's see if you're coming through there now. You're not. So why can't we get you through here? This makes no sense whatsoever. Let's see.
So
There we go. Try that now.
try. Okay, so
There
I'm
we
going
go.
to mute Zoom.
Yeah,
No, I just muted Zoom.
Yeah, there we go. There's
Okay.
for some reason, I don't know how, Discord got muted. Now I got to get you out of Zoom. How do I?
And I muted Zoom.
Yeah,
but
I know. I
you
got
have
you now.
you have some crackling on your end as well.
That's
for your
because I'm still
microphone.
coming through both places. All right, there we
Do
go.
you know somebody named Rosie?
I can't
Palm and
say
her
that I
5
did.
sisters?
No, Cracklin Rosie.
Oh no. No idea who that is.
All right, sorry
Never
for
heard
the
of
delay there, folks, but apparently Discord got muted. All incoming audio. I don't know how the hell that happened. That's a really strange one.
Yeah.
You never
But
heard of
audio is still crackling.
You never heard of Cracklin Rosie?
No.
Still crackling?
Never heard of Crackling Rosie.
All
Yes,
right,
still crackling.
Let's try this then. Hold on.
We're trying weird things.
It's
Laz is switching audio.
Cracklin Rosie is a song by Neil Diamond.
All right, am I still crackling now,
Although-
or is that better?
Yes, you're still crackling.
I don't know what the problem is with
I
that.
actually, Lomir, this may make you feel funny. I saw Neil Diamond live. I believe it was in the Houston Astrodome back in the day, or was it the Houston Summit, which became the
How's that? Is that
where
better?
now it's a mega church.
150?
Oh, that is so much better there, Laz.
Okay, so now I just got to
So
test
much
one
better.
more. Now I just got to test one more thing. So let's just see if this all goes through properly, and then we're fixed. Then we can get on with the show.
Yeah, Neil is an awesome awesome performer. But yeah, it was a long time ago.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
if I do this,
All right. Quiet on the set.
mine was like 1980.
You're listening to W.
82, 81.
yeah, that's not working right. So that was the wrong setting. I don't know. There's something loose somewhere, but it's got to do with a voice mod now for the crackling. But we'll have to deal with
Oh,
that because I need that to
voice
do.
mod.
Yeah, they need that to do. Whatchamacallit?
Oh,
Need that to do intros like this.
All right. Quiet on the set.
quite on the set.
You're listening to WR.
Yeah, so that's working. Okay, so everything's back to normal functionality, except of course technical difficulties, which of course, hey, it happens around here. Well, welcome to today's show. 10 minutes later, almost 15 minutes later. Holy crap!
17 minutes later.
Don't forget,
Yes.
giveaways are open, and we're gonna go pick right up where we left off yesterday. You should be at the 750 mark.
We are something like that.
Bridge Troll, did you
but
see the
we're-
comment in Discord to you?
Oh,
Do you
damn
know
it.
anything about that?
Oh yeah,
He hasn't looked in Discord yet. What happened? You disappeared. No audio. Not even a light. That wasn't my fault this time. Nobody can hear you now, Jack.
Are you sure about that?
There you go. There you go. You muted yourself.
Yeah, I can't.
I didn't mute myself. I didn't even change any settings.
Well, you disappeared for everybody. It wasn't on my side.
I don't know, man. I didn't change any settings. The only thing I was doing was getting to 7 minutes and 50 seconds on YouTube.
All right. Lazorian
Okay,
Fresno,
we are
good
clicking-
evening. Hold on, I gotta get over there. Of course, is that the right
Okay.
screen now? No, it's not. I gotta. It just screwed everything up with that update. There we go. And that's done there. Best train wreck on the internet. That's right, Tina. All right. Ultimate's population reaches 100,000. We're picking up from yesterday.
Yes.
We were doing a recap
Hi,
of
Bridge Troll.
15 million.
Okay, we're clicking play in 3, 2, 1, play.
$1 fee. The popularity of his creation and what he did was absolutely legendary. The man who is credited for the first ever published RPG had now launched the revolutionary game Ultima Online and given it a name, an MMORPG, massively multiplayer online role-playing game, a name that sticks with the genre to this day, over 25 years later. Shortly after meteoric success and in the year 2000, Richard resigned from Origin Systems, his company that was now owned by EA. Once his non-compete expired a year later, he moved to do business with his Korean competitor, NCSoft. While Richard had been birthing a genre in the West, NCSoft had been doing the exact same in Asia with their MMORPG titled Lineage. NCSoft had headhunted this man, and they wanted him to do for them what he did for EA. They gave him a massive budget and free rein to develop his dream MMORPG with current technology. This was the next chapter in thus far an incredible legacy. For the next 7 years, Richard
What are we
Garriott
playing?
developed his dream, a mix between his love of RPGs and his first love, space.
An alien power has awakened in some of us. Over time, it's changing us, evolving us. But change is what we need.
The game, titled Tabula Rasa, was a complete dud. The video game industry was now flourishing and had moved on to bigger and better things. The MMORPG genre had behemoth titles like World of Warcraft by Blizzard Entertainment, and these were dominating player attention, transcending what was thought to be possible. Tabula Rasa was an aged product even prior to launch, and did nothing much to refine the formula. Within the year of launch, Richard Garriott and NCSoft parted ways. This time, Richard was regressing to his prior life goals. He now wanted to go to space, not as a NASA astronaut, but as a private and incredibly wealthy citizen. This venture from Earth to the International Space Station cost Richard $30 million. This made him the second ever second-generation man in space, being that his father had also made the trip. Upon return, Garriott continued his civil lawsuit against NCSoft for their handling of his employment, a case that he won, awarded $28 million, essentially paying off his entire space adventure. With cash in hand, goals accomplished, and a newfound independence, he was now faced with infinite options. He was already an accomplished man, he could leave it all behind, already a pioneer, literally going where almost no man went before, creating things that brought joy to millions of people's lives, and cementing his name in history in multiple industries. But the man who created that legacy did so with an attitude to never give up. Yes, his reputation had taken a hit from Tabula Rasa, but that could partially be blamed on NCSoft's part in the development, which by accounts was very troublesome. Could he really let this be the end of his saga? In 2009, still in between decisions, Richard Garriott and longtime business partners formed a new company called Portalarium. This company originally dabbled in creating games for Zynga to launch.
Okay.
So
Laz is still being written.
So that comment about like blaming NCSoft for the failure of Tabula Rasa, and that's one where you end up with a lot of the game launched too early things. It wasn't ready.
Well,
we were forced to do things.
First off, he's leaving out quite a lot of information. Okay. He didn't go to, what was it, the Korean entity? He was in the North American part, which his brother was head of.
Yes.
In North America. So he wasn't actually working for the company overseas. He was working for the North American division.
Working for his brother.
With his brother and NCSoft. A very big portion of which is left out of that dialogue there, first off. And second off, my understanding was he sued his brother and the North American division, not just NCSoft, the parent company.
Yeah.
Do you recall that as I see, or as I'm saying this? Or?
I know his brother was the president of NCSoft America, but I don't know whether or not he was still the president when NCSoft was sued. But
yes, there was bad blood between the brothers over that, Tina. Absolutely. And again, the comments Tabula Rasa was dated by the time it was released was definitely true to form, and I think the same can almost be said for Shroud of the Avatar. Is blame
it on the publisher.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, hey, we're 6 years into development. We said it was going to be 18 months of development, and then, like Tabula Rasa, let's blame the publisher realistically. But Portalarium was the publisher.
Well, we haven't gotten to Shroud of the Avatar yet. He was talking about.
I know,
but
it's one.
Yeah.
But let's see. Richard blamed EA for killing the Ultima franchise.
And I can't say that that's even true either, because the Ultima franchise is now one of the longest continually running subscription-based PC games in the world.
Well, UO, UO is still running, still receiving some updates.
As the Ultima franchise itself is continuing on the legacy, yes, EA
of the Ultima games,
put that on the shelf. I'll absolutely agree to that.
Yeah,
absolutely. And again, as we were talking yesterday, he constantly goes back to EA to try and get the rights back to at least Ultima so he can move on with it. Well, that's exactly the point.
So
EA shelved the franchise.
Yeah, but Maynard made a comment that Richard has put millions in Shroud of the Avatar.
I can't
The
comment to that.
crowdfunding actually, I kind of want to disagree with that. He may have put up the front capital at the very beginning when Portalarium was making card-based games. And did Lily change one of my volume settings or something?
No, you sound fine here.
Yeah. No, like my microphone was like blowing out a lot, and I believe Lily adjusted one of the knobs on the back somehow. But he also had investors, so he didn't front all the money.
So it was him, it was Dallas,
like
it was Rick, who were the three main investors in Portalarium, or at least the founders who put up money to actually be shareholders in that company.
And as well as a couple other people that were not working directly with Portalarium.
Well, there was an arm's length list of people who had stake in Portalarium back in the day, and probably still have some piece of whatever that company is, because remember, your monthly subscriptions still go to portalarium.com.
Yeah. So I think there's some shitty-ish research done on the background of
the research again. We will both agree that this is nothing more than a hit piece at this point, because the thumbnail on this was from Shroud of the Avatar to court, which he never really mentions anything about a court battle except for the court battle in NC Soft.
We haven't gotten anything to
and why am I at 5 minutes? What did I do? Is I hit something wrong when that happened. What video mark are we at?
We are at 11 minutes and 7 seconds.
All right, because when I hit pause, I sort of hit 11:07 and 11.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So anyway, is a lot of the video that you see that was used here is way outdated video. It never uses any real video. As a matter of fact, one of the scenes that they talk about yesterday, where updated graphics and they show you fighting dragons, shows you fighting dragons in a whole different game, but they could have literally just taken the new content and the new dragons that we have in this game and made that point with our own game. But he refused to do that. But again, this is mostly a hit piece that's using old information, old graphics, and really, really, really old clips and snippets of reviews from back when this thing was in beta, for crying out loud. So, except for the comment about Bridge Troll's ring, which apparently shows up in these clips, and I gotta get. Yeah, well, if you didn't see the clip here, let's just go over into the green room and bring this up. This came from Ziggy the Avatar. And if you bring up this tweet,
yes,
bring up that tweet and go over here and just throw this up on screen real quick.
It's on screen.
Ziggy tagged me yesterday with this. Saw this on the YouTube thread, which I'm assuming is the thread that we're doing, from somebody named Big Brother 7304. Richard, you owe Bridge Troll a ring.
That's someone commenting on the video.
Well, okay. Well, again, this was on the YouTube thread, so I just wanted to. And Bridge Troll says he doesn't know who that was, but apparently somebody who's following the story. But again, it's a comment on the actual video. It's not in the video. Okay, I get it.
It's comment on the video.
I get it now. Okay, I get it. I thought it was one of those comments that pops up on screen here. But before we move on, let's do what we got to do. Let's take care of some business. and pull some
You mean
streamer
close some
bundles. That's right. And Tina
Yeah, and
O'Neill,
Tina, from both of us,
double win.
Tina, the double victory. And then time to reopen that puppy up while we turn around and mail the O'Neill, if it would work. Yes. Because Tina is a wiener.
But let's go ahead and resume back here. This is where we actually start getting into Portalarium and Shroud of the Avatar. So
I got to scroll back up. But okay, we are back
At
on it.
11:07
start again. Yes. And we're clicking
Here I
start.
come to save the day.
3, 2, 1, start.
Launch on the Facebook gaming marketplace until the entire marketplace crashed a few years later. At this point, he made another life-changing decision. Richard Garriott would return to the past, back to Ultima. He was going to bring the legendary title into the future, or at least enough of the feeling and features to be considered a direct successor, but without the name. The company Portalarium was now repurposed, and with it came a promise. Lord British had returned, and with him, the future of massively multiplayer online role-playing games would be changed forever.
And I, as Lord British, will be with you in the game,
Yes.
and together we will forge this new world. I would like to invite you to join me and our team on the grand adventure of creating the
Early
next great
concept
role-playing
words.
game.
Early
As a modern
information.
reincarnation of what made your avatar's adventures so compelling for the last few decades, I invite you to join us in the creating of Shroud of the Avatar.
The Kickstarter launched on March 8th, 2013, asking for
Is
a
there
modest
mostly
sum
audio in
of
this- in
$1
this
million US. The project trailer featured the man, the myth, the legend
pause for a
himself,
second, Jack.
describing what to expect.
I'm sorry. What's
Well,
that,
the
Lomir?
video we're playing on our streams.
So
You gotta
is there
watch-
supposed
you
to
got-
be sound in there?
You got to watch it on the stream,
If you
dude.
watch the video along.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
am. I turned the sound on the stream on. I'm not hearing it.
you should be.
On Laz's channel?
I have it on. I have it on. I have
Yeah.
the sound on your channel.
But those videos right there were from the initial Kickstarter video,
Yes.
I believe. So that is 2013 shit during the Kickstarter to show people, hey, this is the world that we're
Yeah,
creating.
and everybody's
these are the
saying they
things
hear
that
it
you can
fine
do.
on my side, Lomir. So, it's on your end, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Well, I had the sound on Jack's side, so maybe he had the sound off on his end. I don't know.
I don't know, man. It
Don't
should
know.
be playing on my side.
Anybody having sound problems on Jack's side?
I can see it, the audio going off on my side.
Yeah. And switch the audio to the other stream, Lomir. That's why we have two
Well,
streams.
so
if you have one of those-
Laz is
Yeah, I
Laz is
did.
all kinds of crackly because of
You're only
voice
hearing that.
meter.
You're hearing that in Discord. Nobody hears that outside
Yeah.
outside of you. So
everybody in Discord hears it.
Yeah, I know. I turned the sound. I turned the sound on Laz's side.
all right, then we're gonna resume the video.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, play.
Play.
Expect from what he called the next great role-playing game. Fans from around the world immediately started paying
Yeah,
attention.
now I can hear it.
After all, this man created what many to this day still consider one of the greatest innovations in the industry. Not just that, but a game that has never truly been replicated in thought and feeling. How could they not give this man another chance? Especially when the alternative was to play the latest AAA MMORPG created entirely for a casual audience and without much of the flair or flavour of worlds Richard Garriott had spent the last 40 years creating. As for Richard himself, he arrived just in time. People were desperate for new games, and Kickstarter had provided an avenue for those games to be created. Finally, players could finance ideas themselves and break their tether to whatever corporations willed for them to consume. So the pitch was simple: change the status quo. Role-playing games, in Richard's words, had focused too much on the level grinding and not enough on the role-playing. The worlds looked better, they sounded better, but they were too linear, too closed. No longer did players live in the world, participating in an immersive experience. Instead, they performed tasks, checked boxes on a list, and largely shared an identical experience to one another. Shroud of the Avatar would go back to when this was not the case. You would choose a role to play, an adventurer, an explorer, a trader, a crafter, a gatherer, all with branching paths of gameplay, deep enough to satisfy and wide enough to remain interesting for years to come. Not only that, but a world full of consequences, as choice becomes meaningless without. On a technical level, promises were made. A fully interactive world, meaning if you see anything, it will do something. A deep original fiction.
Let's pause that. So yes, fully interactable world. Yes, and Tina's
so many missed promises.
Yeah, and now of course, soda is nothing if not grinding. Yes, there is still plenty of grinding to be done. Absolutely, but
no, like the choose your path. I'm going to be a merchant,
which I am.
Not working.
Well, I make a pretty comfortable. I make a pretty comfortable living here in the game doing that with minimal amounts of work these days. It took a while to get everything set up, but now that it's all set up, I don't have to do as much to maintain it. Of course.
Well, for our scrolls now, we just buy it from people selling it below cost.
Yeah, which makes life a lot easier. Yeah, but I wanted to focus on the fully interactive world, as Tina's pointing out there, that somebody in the last couple of years is really dropping the ball on. Now, of course, there's quite a bit to be said there, and not the point of the critique of this video, but we'll get into that at a later date. We get into that way too often, but moving right along.
But now he's going into the 3 different play modes.
Well, we got Tracy Hickman up on screen at 4:15 for me right now, so you might be a second or two.
I am 10 seconds ahead of you or something like that.
I don't know how you did that. Probably because when I say pause, you're 10 seconds behind.
How am I 10 seconds behind? We're hearing live audio.
I don't know.
Okay, so what's the timestamp you're looking at?
I'm at 14:15.
Okay, there. Okay.
They aren't dropping the ball, but they have dug a hole to put it in. Dropping it would only put it at ground level.
Yeah. They dug a canyon first. They dug a canyon and then they put the ball at the very bottom of that canyon. And we're still waiting for them to get to the ground level. Okay, we are clicking play in 1 play.
Created alongside prolific writer Tracy Hickman. Not only that, but an option to experience the game anywhere with a solo or offline game mode function. All the features included classless character systems, giving players the freedom required to navigate an open experience and change their mind as they do, player housing in a persistent open world giving land value and prestige, deep crafting, a player-driven economy, meaningful player versus player, and much, much more. The campaign saw immediate buzz, not just from potential backers, but industry professionals and media outlets. While not everyone supported crowdfunding, it was a relatively new frontier, and it was impossible to follow the industry and not be curious about where it would go, especially with such a prestigious, experienced leader at the helm. Some backers, however, believed much more than others, 11 of which purchased a $10,000 package offering a tour of Lord British's house, which he called the Britannia Manor, named after a region in the Ultimate Games.
Pause.
Hold on.
5 individuals parted with $5,000 each, and 30.
So yeah,
okay, you should be on Britannia Manor, right?
I went a little further to the Duke pledge, where he says that only 5 backers backed at the Duke pledge, when we know it's closer to 175.
Stop.
People. Yeah.
That is the original Kickstarter he's referring to. The fact that they allowed people to change their pledges and upgrade their pledges after the Kickstarter ended is what he's referring to. So the fact that in the end there was over 100 Dukes
Well,
is,
there was
but there
almost
was
200, but the point being on my side is you make it he makes it sound like only 5 people did this and only 10
okay.
people did Lord of the Manor, and he
But
never goes to say, and then more people were allowed to do this. So I just want to point out that okay, this may be the Kickstarter, but
what you're missing is this is the information from the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter only raised like $1.5 million.
1.9.
But you end up with, okay, there was 11 original Lord of the Manor. There was 5 original Dukes, whatever.
17 Baron 2s.
Yeah, but you end up with, okay, this is the original Kickstarter figures, not the whole grasp of the crowdfunding. Otherwise, you can't say like you know how Star Citizen has crowdfunded their game, and we like to point out that they have raised over $500
Oh well, he's
million.
he's gonna point this out to everybody, which I find very interesting that he makes a point of that, and also points out to the fact they still haven't delivered a fucking game. But that's another whole story in itself. I thought the small Duke version was the tax version.
Yeah.
There is no small Duke version. You're either a Duke or you're not a Duke. And your Duke version was the same as the Kickstarter version after the fact. There was the Royal Founder and the Founder, which were varied slightly with the equipment you got, but otherwise you got the same perks. The Duke head that you were supposed to get that nobody got, the same property, the same deeds, the same houses, the same perks across the board, except for the title, Founder, Royal Founder, and a couple minuscule other changes.
The Royal Founders were the original Kickstarter backers.
Right.
The Founders were the people that bought the pledges off the Portalarium website. That's why they were very similar.
I find this hard to believe because I'm going to point something out here, and I'm just going to, you got to give me a second to get there. Here we go. Let me get over here. Let me do this. Let me open the link.
Oh, yeah.
I got to get to my account here. I got to do a login. A login. I got to go to my account. And pledges. And I'm just going to, I'm going to have to cut this and paste it, but see, because this is where I also have a problem with, hold on, I got to do this again, new. And then we're going to put this in Discord for everybody to see. Because according to this, then I am one of 5 people who have a Royal Founder account. Okay, well, see, then it can't be the original Kickstarter. Okay, because
remember, you upgraded your pledge.
Okay, if there were only 5 Royal Founder pledges that were done in the Kickstarter,
your pledge.
Then how did I get to Royal Founder? Okay, you understand what I'm saying?
That's because they allowed pledge consolidation as well as pledge, transferring the status over.
You're actually missing the whole point. I actually bought my account off somebody else. Okay, when I did this, but the catch is, then if there were only 5 Royal Founders, which we know there were many more than that.
No. There was 5 Royal Founder Duke pledges initially.
Well, again, then you can't say that they were
he's
only
not
the
talking
Kickstarter.
about the people.
I'm talking about the comment you made that the Royal Founder was only in the Kickstarter, which is not true. That's all I'm saying.
The Royal Founder was only Kickstarter pledges.
So there were only
So
5 of
if you
those.
pledge no, how do you get 5?
Because if only 5 were sold in the Kickstarter, which is what's right up on screen, 5.
No. There was not. See, what you're doing is you're conflating the Duke with the number of royal founders. The fact that they allowed you to upgrade your pledge after the fact, as
I
well
didn't.
as to transfer the status or transfer the account, that your original pledge was probably a $45 pledge initially
My
that
initial
had the royal founder status because it
no.
was purchased through. Yes.
No, see, you forget. I didn't have $5 to my name to add on to. Hold on, let's get over here again because you'll die laughing.
But when you bought that account,
See
it's
the
one
included
where,
$20 bonus on here? There was at one point a
yes,
$20 account, and then they sold out and they went to a $25 account. Originally, I didn't even have the $5 to buy the
but
$25 account.
you didn't buy that original Kickstarter pledge.
I started with a night pledge when I actually bought in, and then I upgraded my night pledge. But
After Kickstarter.
correct, but it wasn't a Royal Founder account at the time. When I bought my Duke account, that came with the Royal Founder pledge.
And then you upgraded everything. Like my account originally wasn't a Duke. I think I bought originally a
But you're a Royal Founder, aren't you?
Citizen. What I transferred shit around.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I mean,
yeah, there's all kinds of like
yeah.
shenanigans that
Now
happen
I
there.
have I have at least
but
2 accounts that are Royal Founder.
but the fact that we upgraded pledges after the fact, as well as consolidated and split accounts and did all kinds of fucking shenanigans with accounts that Portalarium supported doing.
Well, I don't know if they
Yeah,
actually
but let's go
supported it
back to,
as much as our favorite
yeah, they did.
employee, as our favorite employee supported at the time. What was his name?
I mean, not the Attenwood is, but James
No, Michael.
Costian. Michael. Yeah.
Michael, yeah, Michael was allowing us to do a couple, but he was early on. But again, the point being is there
But
were more Royal Founder accounts allowed than just the Kickstarter. That's what really comes down to. But let's move on here.
no. All the Kickstarter accounts that were originally the Royal Founder.
So you're
weren't
telling me
accounts, but
a $45 account could be added to an account to make it Royal Founder. Is that what your point is?
so if you pledged during the Kickstarter, like the full game access, $45 and up.
Well, actually, there was one that was $20 back in the day. Yeah,
but you had the Royal Founder status attached to that account.
right.
After they shifted away from Kickstarter pledges to their own pledges, that's where the founder status comes in. Okay.
And yeah, okay.
But remember, all the transferring of
you could have taken a $20 Royal Founder account, added it, and became Royal Founder.
A Royal Founder Duke.
Yeah, just by adding a $20 account with the Royal Founder. And yes, Dallas stopped everybody from upgrading after a while. That was a very festive time because again, Jack and I took big. It was Michael Dameron, I believe, was his name. We used to have a direct line to this boy, and again, over the times that we were still able to horse trade accounts and do all that, man, we kept Michael busy for probably a good month, upgrading, changing, and all that good stuff.
It became a problem for their offices where they were just
their QA was doing nothing but upgrades. Yes.
Yeah. But let's go back to this video and hit play again.
Yep.
And play in 3, 2, 1, play.
7 individuals threw down $3,000 or $3,500 each to claim a rent-free city plot and wander the game's world with the one-time available title of Lord, emulating the creator, Lord British himself. Within 30 days of the backing window of Kickstarter, the project, which initially asked for $1 million, managed to raise just over 1.9. This came from a total of 22,332 backers, making it one of the most successful Kickstarter projects of the time, and maybe more importantly, proving a point to the entire industry. Fans were willing to put their money where their mouth is for products that interested them, even without a single slide of gameplay being shown, and there was tens of thousands of people out there who wanted a change in this genre. Throughout the next few years, a lot happened, but before that, we have to address the fortuitous timing of Lord British and his game's arrival. Maybe a coincidence, or maybe a long-term plan. The question remains without answer. The reality, Kickstarter was on a short fuse and it burned quickly. From the first MMORPG funded on the platform in 2012, Pathfinder Online, to March of 2013 when Shroud of the Avatar arrived, there was only a couple MMOs funded on the site. One being Star Citizen, who raised over $2.1 million during their 30-day campaign. Funnily enough, Chris Roberts, the Star Citizen leader, is a personal friend of Richard's and perhaps nudged him in the Kickstarter direction. It seemed like the platform was the new place to fund dreams, and projects were raking in millions of dollars for very little to show. This, however, was not going to last. Within a couple of years, the audience learned very hard lessons about crowdfunding through sites such as Kickstarter. One such lesson: MMORPGs cannot be created on a shoestring budget, even if the legendary developers are involved. From Shroud of the Avatar in 2013, enthusiasts funded multiple titles until mid-2015. Those included Camelot Unchained, another spiritual successor to a beloved game called Dark Age of Camelot, Crowfall, which was a spiritual successor to Shadowbane, Chronicles of Valeria, a new title that promised features never before explored, such as permadeath of player characters as a subscription model, and rebirth to new avatars to carry on a family legacy. These games, along with a handful of others, managed to slip into the public eye during a time when nobody knew any better. They climbed the ladder of public funding and then pulled that ladder up behind them, not due to greed, but due to negligence, malevolence, or incompetence. Over the next few years, each of these games proved to not exist, show little to no progress, or require far more money than they initially stipulated. Star Citizen, for instance, crowdfunded an initial ask of $500,000 in October of 2012, promising a 2014 release date, and they've since raised over $600 million, and despite having a playable alpha version with impressive tech, has not delivered a finished game, let alone the two games that were initially promised. Shroud of the Avatar was never as grand as that, though they did continue to sell backer items and raise money from the public for years to come. Considerably more money than they claimed to have needed for a full released game. The initial pitch was $1 million, but by the time full release came, it was in the tens of millions instead. Despite that, Shroud of the Avatar suffered from its own unique problems that became increasingly more pronounced as time went on. Unlike many of the games featured in this video series, however, Shroud of the Avatar did release, but that, like many other games, was just the beginning of the end for Richard's return to glory. Following the end of the Kickstarter on April 7th, 2013, the hype was now real. The community was flourishing, bringing in fans of the Ultima series and newcomers alike. Whether people had played what Richard made all those glorious years ago, or heard about it on forums discussing greater days of gaming, the excitement was clearly visible. The community grew across many social media platforms, and discussions revolved around when Shroud of the Avatar releases, as if it was all but guaranteed. And those fans didn't need to wait for long. Unlike his competitors, who were raising millions of dollars, with just the promise of a future of brilliant online role-playing games, Richard was keen to deliver his to market first. Just over a year and a half later, Shroud of the Avatar Forsaken Virtues released onto Steam Early Access, taking advantage of the popular avenue of beta release with a price tag to continue their already swelling crowdfunding. To those of you familiar with this video series, you would expect this to be the point I talk about how the review score was mostly negative, that the game was an obvious asset flip mess, which delivered on zero promises and was essentially abject garbage. But maybe this is an exception, as that was not the case. The reviews were largely positive, but there is a story to be told in the reviews themselves. Negative reviews speak of expectation, how players expected an old school game more in line with the classic Ultima Online. What they were delivered was old school in design and implementation, but not for the right reasons. The game was released with dated combat, dated graphics, and dated vision, but without the nostalgic feel or hardcore focus that the original fans expected. In fact, the monetization was likely the only modern element of the game to this stage, with the Kickstarter and crowdfunder backing rewards acting like a cash shop to sell the most valuable items in the game, such as city land plots and housing, to those who trusted this vision early.
First off, warm insults. Thank you for the follow and welcome. But here he's talking about land plots while he's showing POTs, which again is a total bait and switch as far as I'm concerned. These are not land town plots as he's talking about this. This is a fucking town that you own the whole scene. So, is again very bad research. I don't hear you. What happened to you again? Don't hear you. No, Jack. We're not hearing you. I don't know what happened. Okay, I see you. Did Discord get somehow muted again? Yes, it did. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, sorry. I don't know how the fuck Discord keeps getting muted.
I don't know.
Yeah, anyway, bait and switch here.
What he's talking about is asset flip, and the comments about the POTs were the largest land masses that you could buy.
He never even said anything about POTs. He said, well, you can buy land lots. Land lots. That was the term he used.
You can buy land in Shroud of the Avatar.
Well, again,
you can buy your own town.
He's specifically saying village, city, castle. He's not saying buy your own scene.
Yeah. At 2119, that's where he 2117, 21.
I'm at 2115.
He's scrolling. So a couple of seconds after that is when he's scrolling through the deeds for the houses.
Okay, well, I don't see that here. Let's see. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. But
he's talking about it. The fact that he mentioned asset flips, he didn't turn around and show the assets that are on the Unity asset store that you can also pay with cash. He's talking about all the fact that the only modern element of Shroud was the ability to buy assets.
Holy shit, Casey Cupcakes on the line.
And that purchase of modern assets is where he's showing the types of assets that could be purchased on the.
I get it. Now, Stringfellow has a comment. Sure, lots of truth in the video, but certainly a hit piece. And then showing the graphics from 2013, not 2023, which I sort of understand, because what he's doing is he's explaining what it looked like and what was promised back then, which, again, I'm sort of okay with. But, again, this is days long that we're doing this, and we're going to have to pick this up again tomorrow. I knew this was going to take the better part of this week to do this.
We are out of time.
Yeah, so we will pick this up on the land lots tomorrow to continue this and talk more about it. But real quick, as I've watched this already, I don't think anywhere in this video does he ever get to today's graphics and what's happening now.
Oh, no. I mean, it's like there's all kinds of things that he's going to end up missing.
But meanwhile, time for us to pull final giveaways of the day here on Whacked Out Wednesday. So let's get
my
that
nerd
done.
is getting my streamer bundle.
Casey Cupcakes, good to see you, buddy. Long time no see. And Maynard doing the double win as well. Congratulations to Maynard.
And Gorix is getting my Steam key, which is going to be Nihil Umbra.
Tina O'Neill
Nihil Umbra.
winning the last game key of the day. And let's see what we've got with Tina. Hopefully, Tina is going to get a game that he doesn't have. And we got a copy of Runout for Tina. Runout is, and of course, Tina, you know the drill. Is if you've got this game, then let me know. If not, enjoy it. And Runout worth $5.99 on Steam, so enjoy. He does not. Good. So I can get that out to you. So congratulations to our winners. Thanks to everybody for joining us here today and each and every day. Thank you to our newest follower, Warm Insults. Love the name. And we'll be back with more tomorrow right here on NBNN. Until then, I'm Laz. Technical difficulties long.
I'm Jack.
And we are NBNN. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye-bye.